Hey everybody, hope you're well. It's Crypto Caesar from Caesar Capital. It's the 26th of May, and today we're going to think about and discuss strategy for altcoins for the up and coming new crypto cycle. And there's a few kind of, headlines that I want to point out to you, okay? Firstly, don't get married to your bags from the last cycle. Don't get married to a project from the last cycle, because generally speaking, and unfortunately, most altcoins have one or two cycles in them before they completely zombie out, okay? And generally speaking, also, most altcoins never surpass their all-time high from the previous cycle. That's just a general rule. I mean, go back and look in history, that's the data, okay? That's the hard data. The second point is this: you still have time. Okay, there's no need to start FOMOing into things and thinking, oh no, if I don't buy enough of this token today, it's going to run away from me. No, you got time. Okay, we've just been through a brutal bear market. Okay, markets take time to heal. Okay, they take months, years to heal. You still have time, and we'll look at that in a moment. Okay. Thirdly, just be patient. Okay, and this runs from the last point. Just be patient, because you've got time. You just got to be patient and you got to be smart. Okay. Next one is wait for a narrative with altcoins, because every cycle there is a different narrative. All right. In the 2017 cycle, the narrative was ICOs. Okay, that was a massive narrative. Last cycle, the narrative was NFTs. The narrative was decentralized finance, etc. So just wait for a narrative. Okay, it goes back to the other points. You still got time. Be patient. Okay, and wait for a narrative. Okay, and the final point is this, before we start looking at some charts, is respect the crypto cycle. Okay, doesn't matter what people tell you. They're going to flip the switch on XRP tomorrow. Telcoin's going to the moon next week. It's all bullshit. Okay, you got to respect the cycle, because all of these projects, I mean, obviously there is always an exception, etc., because some projects move during a bear market, but not many. 99% of projects will move with the crypto cycle. Okay, and you've got to respect the cycle, and the cycle of crypto generally moves in 4-year cycles. Okay, 3-year bull market, 1-year bear market, 3-year bull market, 1-year bear market. That's what's happened previously. That's the data. Okay, so you've got to respect the cycle. And that all goes back to the other points. You being patient, you're having time and waiting for a narrative. Okay, so let's go back in history. Let's have a look at some of the projects that did really, really well in the 2017 bull market. Okay, let's have a look at some of the altcoins that did really, really well in the 2017 bull market. So this one, Verge, okay, XVG, brilliant, did really, really well. Okay, absolute dog shit coin. Okay, useless, right? But it did really, really well in the bull market in 2017. I mean, look at this. It went up 319,000%. Okay, 319,000%. That's a massive move. Okay, but what we could see from this chart, okay, is it had that huge run, 300,000+% into the first cycle in 2017. Then the bear market came. Then it sold off. Okay, and then all boats rise in the tide. The next Bitcoin crypto cycle came and up it went, but it's failed to surpass its previous cycle high. Okay, it failed to surpass that previous cycle high. All right, and if you had bought Verge around the peak here, okay, and you had waited all through the bear market, for weeks and weeks, well, years. Okay, let's have a look. You'd waited 176 weeks. Okay, so years, you would have almost just about, well, not even that. You would have been close to being breaking even on your bags if you bought the cycle peak. Okay, so great run to begin with, sold off, had a little bit of a run in the last cycle, but failed to surpass its all-time high. And this was one of the biggest movers, okay, in 2017. Here's another one. NEO was once called Ant Shares. You know, a lot of people from back in 2017 will remember this one as well. You know, another project that went really, really crazy, 256,000% to the upside. Okay, absolute massive run to the upside. But what did it do? It sold off in the bear market, just like everything else did, just like Bitcoin did, just like Ethereum did, just like everything else did. Sold off in the bear market. Okay, then the second cycle began. The halving was in May 2020, and as I say previously, all boats rise in the tide, and it rose with the rest of the market. Did it reach its previous all-time high? Did it surpass its previous all-time high? No, it didn't. And you would have had to have waited again 170 odd weeks of pain just to even try and break even if you'd bought those bags at the top. All right, so again, massive move. Did it surpass its all-time high previous cycle? No, it didn't. Okay, here's another one. NEM, another massive move to the upside, 241,000% move to the upside. Cycle peaked in January 2018 at $1.69, sold off in the bear market just like everything else. All boats rise in the tide. It rose again during the next crypto cycle. Did it surpass its all-time high? No, it only got to what? 86 cents. Okay, so way off its all-time high. Okay, so my point is this, is that just because something is massive in one cycle doesn't mean it's going to be massive again in the next cycle, because this technology is moving fast. Okay, it really is moving fast, and there will always be something new next cycle, and there'll always be a new narrative next cycle, and this will apply to all of the altcoins, most of the altcoins from the previous cycle. Okay, some of the altcoins in the previous cycle did extremely well. Okay, really, really well. Moves like this, 240,000%. But the chances are is they're not going to make that move again. And if you think that they're going to make that move again, I'm sorry, but you know, I think that you could potentially need to see a psychiatrist, right? You're deluded. It's not going to happen. They're not going to move that much again. Very, very unlikely. Okay, and that's just the way it is. Okay, this is the way the cycle of greed works. Okay, so you've just got to be patient. You've just got to wait for a narrative. But you know, that being said, what we can say, okay, in relation to all three of these projects, NEM, Verge, and NEO, is that if you had sold your bags at the peak, okay, and then reaccumulated down in the accumulation zone and waited, okay, then rode it up again, okay, you would have done okay, because you would have got 2,000% return on that on that move. So that's not a bad return, to be fair, but you would have had to have been smart, because you would have had to have taken profit, okay, at the peak or thereabouts, okay, and then you know, reaccumulated in the bear market and realized that the chances are that this is the peak of the cycle now, and the likelihood of it surpassing that peak is you know, very low, so take profit on that position. Okay, same with Verge. You know, if you had taken profit around about the peak, or you know, you can see the ABC correction here, A, B, C. Okay, if you had taken profit in the B area on the Elliott wave ABC correction, waited to accumulate in the bear market, okay, accumulated around this zone, and then you know, rode it up back up to around about where it peaked out in its B move on the Elliott wave move down, you still would have taken around about, you know, 2,500%. So again, you know, a good return, but you would have had to have understood the cycles, and you've had to understood that you needed to take profit at that point, okay, which a lot of people don't understand those principles. Okay, but generally speaking, as I said to you right at the beginning, it's all about narrative. It's all about finding out what that narrative is going to be, you know, just waiting for it and being smart, because there are going to be plenty of new projects. There already are plenty of new projects, you know, coming that were built during the last bull market, you know, and released halfway through the bull market that didn't have a chance to run, okay, or were built during the bear market and are probably going to run really hard, okay, because their market caps are pretty small, and the narrative is different, okay? Now, we're going to have a look at this in a bit of a deeper dive in a moment, but before we do that, let's have a quick break, advert from my sponsor, Bitget. Okay, that's the advert from Bitget. If you look at the link in the description, there's a link there. You can get an awesome deposit bonus and an awesome trading bonus, up to 8,000 USDT deposit bonus, and a really, really good trading bonus. So check it out. Use the link in the description. Let's get back to the charts. Okay, so this is the total market cap of everything excluding Bitcoin. Okay, so this is interesting to look at really as to, you know, really what happens in the cycle of altcoins. Okay, and obviously the cycle of altcoins follows the cycle of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is king and Bitcoin really dictates what happens with the market, because if Bitcoin dumps, the altcoins dump. If Bitcoin pumps, the altcoins will, you know, rise in the tide, etc. But obviously there comes a point where the altcoins start going really, really hard, okay, and liquidity starts coming out of Bitcoin and the alts start outperforming Bitcoin, okay? Some of them will outperform Bitcoin by, you know, 100x, 200x, etc. But this is the total market cap of everything in crypto, not including Bitcoin. And we can see here that this was the peak in 2018, okay, around 8th of January 2018, and you can see the market had its correction, its ABC correction, A, B, C, down it went, okay? And then during 2018 through to 2020, basically, there was a huge area of accumulation, okay? That accumulation lasted 102 weeks, okay? So a significant period of time. But what's obviously interesting is that the Bitcoin halving was around about here on the 10th of May, 2020. And it was just after the Bitcoin halving that the altcoins broke out of this area of resistance, because this area was once support, okay, about 106 billion at that point, broke down, came up, tested, failed. And this was just an area of accumulation, tested, failed, and then it finally broke out after the Bitcoin halving, okay? So what we can take from that is that there is going to be a significant period of accumulation, okay, before the altcoins break out, and the altcoins will probably break out after the Bitcoin halving, or just before it, or around that point, close to it, okay? And here we can see in the chart, this was the market peak in 2021, in November 21. And you can see then we got the A, B, C correction, okay, and we're now in the area of accumulation. Try to break through it, okay, here. It's obviously resistance, rejected, back down. We're probably going to reject off that again, okay? So this is just a massive area of accumulation. And the next Bitcoin halving is around, scheduled to be about the 8th of April, 2024. And 102 weeks from the point of which we dropped into the area of accumulation would take us pretty much exactly to where the Bitcoin halving happens. So we've got you've got massive amount of time. I don't see this market cap breaking above this area of 705 billion until just before or on or after the halving of Bitcoin. So, you've got time, from here, we've got what? We've got at least another 44 weeks. So just under a year to accumulate. And what I think that's going to happen with the market is I think that Bitcoin is going to have a bit of a continued rally for the next few months, maybe this summer. Maybe it'll get to 42K, maybe a little bit higher, but I can't really see it going over 50K at a push. I mean, I think that would be lucky, but 42K, 40K is a reasonable target, I think, for Bitcoin. Then there's going to be a sell-off, okay, and the altcoins are gonna get hit hard with that, and that's the point where you want to be looking, in my opinion. Obviously not financial advice, but what I will be looking to do is take positions in altcoins once Bitcoin has that really decent fat sell-off, which I think is going to be coming come October, November, December time. So you've still got a lot of time, okay, and you've just got to be patient, like I said, and you've got to respect this cycle, okay. You've got to respect the cycle, be patient, okay, wait for the narrative. Okay, there are so many good projects out there at the moment that will be, heading up, I should imagine, the narrative of what the narrative is going to be this cycle coming. Okay, if you really, really believe in a project and you think it's going to do great, then absolutely, there's no harm in taking small positions, nibbling away at the moment at it. But for me, I'm just I have a heavy Bitcoin position, some Ethereum, a little bit of Casper. I'm just happy with that position for the time being. I'm waiting for the narrative. I've got an idea of what that narrative might be, and I'm going to wait for a bit of a significant sell-off for Bitcoin, and then I will start taking positions. And if I'm wrong about that, that's fine with me. I'll still wait for the narrative, because there's still going to be a lot of movement to the upside with those altcoins anyway. Yeah, so essentially, what I'm trying to get across here is just be patient, okay? Wait for the narrative, respect the cycle, okay, and just don't get married to your bags from the last cycle, because history shows you that is not a good idea, okay? And as I say, not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't know what your risk tolerance is or anything like that. So I couldn't possibly give you financial advice, but for me, a good strategy for altcoin positions in any cycle is to wait for that narrative and be patient, and then take those positions. But diversify your portfolio, okay? Diversify. Don't put your eggs all in one basket, for God's sake. I hear people saying, I'm just all in VRA, or all in Talcoin, or all in this, or all in that. That is a terrible, terrible idea, okay? You need to spread your risk, okay? And you don't need to put too much money into these altcoins, okay? Don't put too much money into them, because you're just going to lose sleep if you've got all your eggs in one basket and you're just hoping for this thing to move. Like all these idiots in the community are telling you, we're going to flip the switch tomorrow, it's going to go to a $1 trillion market cap overnight and you're going to be a trillionaire. Just don't buy into that bullshit, okay? Because that's what it is. That's all it is, okay? Don't buy into that. Diversify your portfolio and make small bets, okay? If you've got 10 altcoins, okay, you've got a nice position in Bitcoin, nice position in Ethereum, and 10 altcoins, okay? 5 of those altcoins might not move at all, okay? 5 of them might just go sideways and zombie out, okay? But 5 of them might do really well, okay? And that will balance your portfolio out. And you've just got to remember, this is the last thing I'm going to say to you, take profit, okay? Don't listen to everybody telling you this, that, and the other, it's going to the moon. You've got to respect the cycle and you've got to take profit, okay? You've got to protect your profit because, let's face it, the reason why we're here, okay, is to try and increase our wealth, okay? And the only way you're going to increase your wealth is by taking profit and protecting it, okay? All right, there we are. That's the video for today. If you're interested in joining the group, you all know I run a VIP group. The link is in the description. You can visit the website. We've got a YouTube video basically about what sets out what the group's about. You can reach out to me on Twitter, which is probably the easiest thing to do because I will respond a lot quicker there. If not, reach out to me via the website. I hope you have a great weekend, and I shall speak to you all soon. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.